Are you ready? Okay, so now we have Zeus. Zeus is also, he's never done this at all, so he doesn't know anything about it. And you can see, he kind of thinks, well, I just want the food, I just want the food. So what I'm going to do is get to the side a little bit, because getting to the side actually will help him get off of me a little bit. So he's backing himself up, and that's okay. I'll go with him, but slowly. I'm trying not to be excited. Very good. And he kind of gave up a little bit. Having the food closest to him, I find, is actually quite helpful. He can't keep his head craned around and trying to get the food the whole time. If it's over here, he actually can wrap around me and makes it feel easier pursuit. So we finally he went and turned his head away. I got to feed him, and you can see he very quickly wants to keep his head in that place. And this is, you can see he was starting on me a little bit, and he wanted to back up and keep his head at my side bucket. So what I just needed to do was kind of slowly move with them. If I feel like they're too nervous, I don't move with them, because I think it only makes them more agitated and fearful. But I could tell it wasn't a fear thing, it was a determination thing. So as I could get him to being in that better place, that's what I did. So now what I'm gonna do, because now I think he has it in the context of what we do, I'm gonna ask him to come up here with me a little bit. Can you come up here? He's like, I don't dare move. Come up here. See, so now we have it where he does think, I'm not leaving this spot. This spot is the spot. Good, there you go. So I'm actually gonna reinforce him for following me up here a little bit. Even though the click doesn't mean what it should yet, I can still make it a little bit clearer. So now you can tell he's going back, and I can kind of have my arm in the way where he can't reach the bucket so easily, and I just ignore all of that as long as I feel safe. And I do feel safe. And so if I didn't feel safe, I could do this in a protected contact with him on one side of the gate, me on the other. Him on the other side of a fence, me on the other. But for now, I don't feel that he's unsafe. I feel like he just, there you go. And I don't care. He went to go swish at a fly on his leg. It's okay. It created the right behavior. It gives me a chance to click and reinforce that correct behavior. Okay, can you come up here with me again? So I want him to shift a little bit, because he gets a little stuck in his place. He's like, I worked it out. This place is a good place. So, but every time we move, you can see he goes back to kind of trying his old stuff again. He's not super pushy. Some of them are much pushier and push me around like bulldozers, but I still react the same. Now, that wasn't perfectly away yet, but I liked that he kind of pulled his head off a little bit. So it gave me a chance to reinforce the right thing. Good. And there, what I saw, the first thing to go was actually his eyes. So he was kind of with me, and then I saw his eyes start to look away, and I could draw attention to that, because where his eyes go, his head will eventually follow there typically. Good, very good. Good, there we go. And he's lowering his head quite a bit, so I feed where I want his head to really be, which is over, but it is in a comfortable standing place. If I have a horse who tends to be a little bit high-headed, I may actually reinforce a little bit lower, kind of exaggerate that, but that's not really his thing. So I'm just gonna reinforce them. Very good. And what I like there, I clicked it because he didn't take his head down. So I don't want him to chain that behavior in, where he's like, I go down, then I get fed. So I like that he just kept his head good in the right place, the right kind of elevation, as it were. Yeah, very good. So he kind of has sorted it out. Now, just because he sorted it out in this session, you could see as I moved a few feet forward, he doesn't have it again. All of a sudden, he's back to his old, up to his old tricks, as it were. So that's fine. That it means that we're on the right track. It doesn't. I don't expect that when I bring him out next time, he will be perfectly where we left him this time. Can you come up here with me? Come up here. So because he's paying attention to where he is and what he's doing, he sees the target at my back, and he's actually targeting it. He doesn't know the target, so it's just pure curiosity. And so I'm waiting for him to kind of make a decision a little bit. There you go. And just a little bit, again, started with the eyes going away, and I could draw attention to that. Very good. And I'm kind of getting myself back to his shoulder where I want us to be able to stand side by side. I can watch him, he can watch me. And he doesn't feel like he has to keep me at his head. Keeping me at his head is kind of a different element that sometimes we have to undo a little bit. So I like that he lets me get back to his shoulder. And you'll notice I tend to do it from one side first. I want it to be something they get from both sides, but at this early stage of the game, I want it to be on the one side. I want to create that default position where they come up to the side where I want them to know which side to go to. I don't want a horse at liberty waggling behind me, going one way, going the other way. I want to know where they are and be able to keep eye contact with each other as we do that. So there he stepped back a little bit, so I just stepped up a little bit to correct that. Excellent. Okay, so that was very good. And we're going to just end that there with Zeus. He did a great job.